I want to share a story with you about how I decided to be an art teacher at the age of 4. When my sister was in kindergarten, this was her last day of school. I got special permission from her teacher to be with her on the last day. And I sat there with a group of kids, and we were all drawing little pictures, and the kids asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I said, I want to be an artist. Everybody started laughing at me, but I knew I wanted to be an artist. So toward the end of the day, probably about 2 o'clock, I asked the teacher, could I teach the class a lesson? And at age 4, this was the lesson I taught the kids. And this is what my mom taught me when I was a kid. There was this little girl who lived in a house. The house had one door, had 2 windows. And this house was special because it had 2 chimneys. And one day the little girl was at home and she realized that she lost her cat. So she went down the road to look for her cat. She walked down the road and she walked up the hill. The little girl walked back down the hill, but she could not find her cat. So she walked back up. She walked down into the ditch. She walked back up the hill. She walked over toward her house a little bit. Then she walked back down the hill and back up. She walked in the ditch and back up. And when she got home, she found her kitty cat. I may be an old lady teaching it, but I was 4 when I first taught this lesson.